The Yummy Mummy Club.
The main character is Moth. Who is Moth? I mean, was she a real person in your mind, or how did she develop?
She's this 12-year-old girl living on the streets of Manhattan. Her mother was a fortune teller. Her father walked out when she was very young, and she just captivated my imagination. She's based on actual case histories of girls who lived on the streets in that time in the 1870s.
Both your books were set in this sort of nostalgic era. What is it about that time that so attracts you?
Well, for me, I'm looking for bits of history that haven't been told yet, and specifically women, the history of women and girls, because we have a lot of history from men, especially men in power, and I love going to libraries and archives, and I just dig through and I sift through until I find something.
So I've read the book, and I said to you that I saw it as a movie, and then you told me that critics called it painterly.
Right, yeah.
But in both cases, you can see, you paint scenes. Can you talk a little bit about that process and that art?
I'm actually thinking of it in a cinematic or artistic sense, where there's dialogue that's sort of, that comes first. I kind of hear the voice. It makes me sound crazy, but I hear the characters in my head, and I'm making choices based on knowing those characters very well. And so these scenes form. And you know, I took several trips to New York to do research, and so I would walk on the streets that my great-great-grandmother had walked on. There's an amazing museum on the Lower East Side called the Tenement Museum. And it's this old tenement that they've taken, each floor they recreate an era in the tenement's life. And seeing that example and being so drawn to it, I really felt like that's what I needed to do with this story as well. I needed to be in it and sort of have it living in my head the whole time while I was writing.
What happens when you have writer's block? How do you deal with that?
Well, I sit down and I write anyway, and I'm very quick to say, because I think a lot of people think that you have to just sort of give up. And because I'm a mom, and I think I share this trait with a lot of moms, there's a lot of guilt that comes from doing something that doesn't include the rest of the family. So I start each day where I have a piece of paper and I just get rid of all of my to-dos. I write down, so I won't forget them, I'll have them for later, but that way I'm not thinking about them while I'm writing.
Virgin Cure, this is Amy McKay, and I'm so happy to finally meet you after 6 years.
I know, we've been back and forth and it's a thrill.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Read the book.